Which vinyls did they pick?
We got Zarya. We had somebody pick a Zarya vinyl, and we had picked I think we got one of our Overwatch logo vinyls.
Nice. All right, here we are, Kings Row. What did we? Who just won? Dracula?
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll put that up at the top here, so anyone following along.
Yeah, I was just thinking. So Team Dracula, who is attacking, is trying to close out this series right away for week number 1. So again, we're looking at best of 3 matchups here, and right now we've got Team Dracula ahead. We'll see if they're able to continue this, or how well Skeletons is able to defend it. You gotta switch the names.
Oh, no. Really?
Hold on. Zaldar, Dracula, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why that is like that. Yeah. Alright. Whatever. Okay.
Now we're good. All the
What do you
labels
think?
should be right.
How are you feeling about this Widow?
Widow pick, and that's our artist. Who was he playing last round? God, I can't remember. The Widow makes me nervous. I want to see if he sticks with her or switches off. That's what I was looking for.
A lot of times what we'll see out of these picks here, though, is that doorway is such a strong way to shut down this alley all the way back and force them back. So maybe that was the thought process. The flip side being that Skeletons is responding appropriately and pretty much making Artis useless unless he repositions, which he does. But we'll see if it's too little too late. Ooh, big charges coming out of Kawaii Senpai there. She's a little bit out of position, but still able to pick up kills. Irritable's right there to support. And Team Dracula's already picking up some big kills here.
Ooh, Kawa Senpai now going with the Rhine pick. Interesting.
It works. Team Dracula rolls.
I was just looking at all their roles there. Really switched up. Wow.
Yeah, they're definitely a more... an early pick on Goose there by Artis means that they're going to have an easy way picking through the beginning of this. But Rez comes out of Neon.
So, Artis, good. Ooh, and gets taken down.
Nobody's on the payload, though.
Yeah, what's going on here, guys? Get back there. All right. I was going to say, that happened in the last match. I don't know why I'm paying attention to that so much. I think it's because there were games Maverick and I played where I was playing a tank role and was reminded constantly, a lot of damage there by Doorway and that Winston being ultra aggressive. Jumps right back, though, stays safe.
Ooh, Kawaii Senpai picks up 2, gets body blocked, though, and picked off.
Wow.
But Iz manages to pick up 2, and they're able to just keep marching forwards. Artis is absolutely destroying on this Widow right now.
Yeah, really good job as Widow. I'm surprised they're not answering that yet. I'm trying to look at who would be the player that you'd want to have to go after.
Doorway. Doorway's been focused more on dealing with the team itself. You notice they're getting in and doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Doorway needs to be jumping up, dealing with that Widow. And if, again, I would go almost with a Zarya. You can keep the...
I was going to vote Diva.
See, Doorway's completely ignoring Widow. That's not the right move. You got to take care of her.
There goes Widow again, going straight for their damage dealer, who they know is Goose.
Yep. And Dracula's just continuing to push forwards here.
Wow.
Yadin just bouncing up and down here. He should not be able to get through this shield. He's getting a little aggressive. Picks up Goose.
Wow.
So if your team Skeletons, you've
yeah.
got to slow this down. You got to figure out a way to stop just the.
They were a little broken up there. Wow.
Myers up top trying to get something done, but Dracula is just relentless right now.
They are really, now it's going to be a trickle, a skeleton coming through because you want to throw everyone on the point.
Oh, Artis.
Artis is doing some work.
Doorway's finally picking him up.
There we go. Yep.
He's just got to keep the aggression going.
Wow. I'm mesmerized. If you can't hear the silence, we're both sitting here holding our breath as Artis is sniping.
So there it goes. All right. Holy cow! Team Skeletons finally stopped them.
Yes. At the 11th hour. Why did you do that? That had to be a mistake.
I hope. That's a big... No. If you're Team Skeleton, you're in a panic right now.
Yeah.
That ult could have been easily used to shut down Artis with an ultied Winston, and instead it was put on nothing.
Yeah, that was... Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It never feels good.
That was upsetting. Oh,
nobody's keeping an eye on that Widow. There we go.
That's what I said. D.Va. There we go.
Yeah, D.Va's good too, especially with those new rockets. But you got to know when to get in, get out.
Yes.
Especially with her new ability to hit and run, you can definitely get in there and deal with them. But trying hard, popping his ult.
That was good timing on that.
No.
Yarden going to work. Kaiwa Senpai getting a kill there as well. And Artis, as usual, showing up in the kill stream from behind. So Dracula continues to move in. We got one res. Don't know if it's enough, though.
Meyer, though, big. Oh,
my.
If Psychoticon could have gotten on the point, maybe, but not dealing with those Widows appropriately is tough.
So I would say that was the round of Widow plays from Artis. I think if I were to pick a highlight there, that would be it. But I think they caught on there towards the end.
So the D.Va switch and the Winston, that's what you really need to be able to do. Because if you're not, I mean, look at all these long sight lines. You know, you can be Artis, you can be hanging all the way back there. And if you've got a good shot, I mean, you can hit all the way back to the end of the point.
Yeah.
That's really dangerous for a team that lacks the mobility to deal with it, which when they were running the Rhine, they did. And again, we look at the first week, and when people don't have the coordination to stay behind the shield when needed, to avoid sight lines, maybe they're not even making the right call-outs to say, hey, Widow's in the room, Widow's in the upper right. If you don't hear those call-outs, you're not able to respond, and a lot of times you can easily get picked up there.
Yeah. And I like to see, we didn't see a lot of Widow play maybe in our first 2 seasons. We saw a little bit more last season, but it definitely changes up that in-your-face play style because there's a few characters that will qualify as snipers, but for the sake of what we're seeing here, it's really the only hero right now that's shooting from a distance that warrants your attention, that you have to do something drastic to take her out. You can't just focus fire. You have to work on which hero to go after her with.
Absolutely. We do see an interesting switch here. So we've got Meyer on Widow, which I think is going to be really interesting because you can't help but notice that golden gun.
Yes.
Was Meyer the secret Widow weapon? Because, one of the best ways to deal with a Widow, run your own Widow.
Yeah.
So let's see what they're able to do here as they go into the map here. A lot of times you get a good Widow out there, you can really surprise them, and this can be really deadly. So let's see what Meyer's able to do, and if he can snipe like Artis, he starts to peek out his head.
Just a little bit. As we both, I love the way the casting goes silent as we watch Widows. So
this is Team Skeleton. If they don't cap this point, they are going to be receiving a loss for their first week here as they begin the aggression. Goose hopping in, trying to get on these targets right away.
And retreats back, but he's caught there. If you notice, Kaiwa Senpai was out front. Oh, goes down.
But picks him up right there. Whoa, Neo making a really bold move there, trying to fly in on top of the targets. Gets picked up by Zaldar. You can't really, as a Pharah, you want to really abuse your high ground advantage there instead of just diving in on top of them. But
in the air all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like it doesn't matter, especially if they're able to pick up Irritable, which they do. Points locked down. Look at that doorway. Once he gets going, there's no stopping him. Look at that. 90 energy, just relentless damage.
Totally charged up again. Look at that. Pull it back, reel it in, doorway.
I know, he doesn't have that health kit either, so he's going to back up and
he's going to be in a little bit of trouble there.
So it'll be really interesting if Skeletons manages to push right back through.
Yeah.
Ooh. So let's see how their Widow does this time. Artis did such a good job picking up a lot of kills. And I think the other thing that's interesting, though, nice kill by Meyer, but gets undone kind of by the res. When you've got so many different targets in the air between Fair and Widow, it can get really chaotic on the ground.
Well, this is a tough spot for Widow here because the corridor is so tight. It's easy to have a good tank basically block all your shots.
Absolutely, but Doorway picks up huge amounts of kills and just keeps it going.
Wow.
Easy kill on Artist now, and they just, Skeleton's keeping the ball moving.
Wow. Doorway has been doing some very good play here.
So if you're Skeletons, you're hoping that you get to this point before they do. If you don't, they do not have a very good ult advantage, and I think Dracula should be able to stop them here if they're able to recollect in time. Ult coming out of Zaldar, isn't able to pick up anybody, and they do cap the point.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Psychoticon picks them up.
Oh, and undone.
So with Goose in the back there, though, he's got his ult. He can afford to be reckless, which he does. Meyer picking up a ton with Neom in the back. Nice work.
So we are still over 5 minutes left on this to make this last run at the end of the line here. Plenty of time.
This is exactly what just happened on the last map.
Yeah.
If you look at the amount of aggression that's coming out of Skeletons, it's almost the exact same thing. Ooh, he picked the wrong side, though. He doesn't want to run into that Winston.
Oh, boy.
But is ignored, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Meyer picking up the aggression there. Got to pick up some targets. Irritable probably popping his Valkyrie. Should be soon. Oh, our Ignite 11 account, though, picks up her ult. That's awesome.
Good timing there.
Holy cow. Team Skeletons is going to have a faster time somehow, and it seemed like they were nonstop.
That was over a minute and a half faster. I would say I think the capture and there was no slowdown. Skeleton came right through.
Really interesting throwback there. We had Dracula seemingly pushing right through them, but Skeleton's just pushing it right back. They're saying we are not ready to get out of this matchup yet.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is something.
Doorway's got to be feeling pretty good after that matchup too. A lot of energy, high damage. He's really doing a lot for this team right now. Between him and Meyer, really cool stuff.
There's a lot of really good. Just collectively, the team's doing very well. They've got good. I have to say, a lot of really tank plays that we're seeing a lot of, and that very ultra aggressive DPS, but not sacrificing themselves with every attempt. They're not trading heroes all the time, which we see a lot of from time to time, is the trade-off 1 for 2. They go in and sacrifice themselves. We're seeing them retreat appropriately, take the cover.
But you know what I like? I really like Skeleton's new approach here. So before they had the Reinhardt trying to be more turtley in their strategy, but they know Artis is on this Widow. That's a huge threat. So instead, they're doing this more ability to get in there, pop off. Between having the Zarya and the Winston, I think we're going to definitely see this Widow be a little bit less effective.
We got one call for Artis MVP here.
And Artis is lobbing in shots from the back there, but again, the teams are smart. They're not putting themselves in positions to get picked off.
They know to stay back. Skeleton's like, no, don't fall victim to this Widow again, guys.
Ooh, and Neom doing an awesome job on that Pharah lately. That switch was really good, and you still got that Widow in the upper left corner over there, if you can see, trying to make up shots, which Neom's got to be careful of. But Goose, Mir picking up a bunch. It's looking like they're going to be able to stabilize, but you got to be careful of that Widow. It's an early pick is going to be really uncomfortable, and she's going for the sky shot. Ooh, hook goes down, misses. So Goose there, though, trying to keep the Widow out of the picture while Neom does a lot of damage. It's hard for the Widow to choose her shots when she's got so much going on. She should be able to pick up that Ignite account. One shot left in the barrel.
It's keeping the Skeletons running scared, though, I have to say.
Down there.
Yeah.
So Dracula falling back a little bit with Irritable down. They lose that res ability, and we've got the Valkyrie out of Skeletons, which is really going to increase their holding power. Meyer, big kill there.
Wow, nice work, Meyer, again.
We really see Skeletons revitalized on this point, so very cool to see.
So I feel like we haven't seen a lot of Roadhog play, so maybe they'll pick something off here. We'll see. He's keeping an eye. Oh, that's a little aggressive there.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, that's how you can keep Artis kind of on his toes. It's when he's able to just sit still and do whatever he wants to. That's the problem. But they got to pick up on Psycho.
Here they go.
All coming down, but look at that. Back-to-back ults.
Wow, crippling both teams at the same time as they stare each other down.
But a huge advantage for Dracula there as they end up on the way better side of that.
Absolutely.
Doorway just popped that ult just a second. Well, I don't even know. Second too early, second too late. It was too hard. Without a shield to block the Reinhardt charge, you do lose a lot of ability there. And Artis did awesome when he was in this position last time. See if he can do it again. Ooh, manages to pick it up, and here comes Goose. He knows that's a problem.
Yeah. Good escape strategy there by Artis, though. That was quite the way to get out of there. Yeah, so the first hurdle is capping this point, which they obviously did. We've got 37 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh, and Artis snipes the tire coming in. I didn't even see that.
Wow, very nice. Was that deliberate? Did we see that? Wow.
That's right, kind of right in front of us. Jeez. Ooh, ult coming down with the bubble. Isn't enough?
No, Zaldar answered with the Roadhog.
So now all of a sudden, Dracula is just picking up steam. But is it going to be enough?
I don't know. We got 10 seconds. They got to get back on the point, guys.
If they're going to make this all the way through, it's going to need to be completely through.
And we've seen this before. Yep. We saw this in the last season.
Shield's going down for Kwai Senpai, which is going to be a huge problem. Doorway, another ult coming down. I don't know how he gets that energy, but no follow-up means that no one's going to go down.
Nope.
Irritable with some big res opportunities. Myers blows his ult into nothing.
Goose kind of stuck in the middle there as Winston taken out immediately.
And now Dracula is going to start getting a lot of damage done. Are they able to res that? Zarya.
That was an impressive kill by Yadin there, going straight after their Mercy. Despite her running the Valkyrie.
And as a Mercy, you really don't want to be floating around. You know, you're able to fly around.
Yeah,
you don't need to be sitting there.
Use your verticality. Get behind the corners, especially in this map. And they are really running. Dracula is really running this back.
Yeah. But again, we're in overtime, so really this is anybody's game still. If they lose that point for just a little bit of time, that could be the end.
Now, just take a quick note here. Goose's ult is very effective as Winston because you're pushing him off the point. All you got to do is get that team off the point.
Why is the only one left? Nobody on the point. You can see the timer just flipping so fast.
There it goes. All right. That was a really good run. Really good run. But again, the one of the most effective ults in that scenario, OT, on a payload, is Winston.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you create the scatter effect, and so it serves a lot of purposes, right? You've got everybody not only getting knocked off of it, but the focus shifts from, looking, killing targets, healing people, doing that thing to like, we all got to get on the point. Don't leave the point. Don't leave the point.
Don't leave the point.
And now everybody's like hyper focused on getting back to the point and not on killing each other. And then you've got the damage everywhere. So it just creates a lot of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in order for Team Skeletons to stay alive in this map, they need to push it further than what Dracula did. If they don't, game's up. And they lose week number 1.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So let's see what they opt to run. Myers back on this Widow. These teams really like to run these Widow openers.
Yeah, especially on this map, though.
Yeah. It's a good first point to go for. So this is going to be interesting. Dracula has no good way to deal with Meyer right now. They lost their mobility and their Winston. I think they're going to regret that in a major way here, as Meyer's going to be able to just have free range on these targets. And you can see they're already starting to back up and out of it. Ooh. The Ignite account gets blown up right away. Which I think is D-Wise, right? Yes, D-Wise? Yep.
Yes.
So D-Wise gets blown up right away, which kind of halts their ability to move forward here. Remember, Skeletons is hoping to get this point. If they don't, they are out of luck. hook comes in on Goose, which gives a lot of charge to Doorway. Psychoticon picks up Kwai, but it's negated. So Neom is all the way up there. He's got to be careful.
I was going to say their positioning here again is very similar to the last match. I feel like they're mirroring each other. They're taking the fight to the back there. I think that's partly the Widow and just the way that the cards fall as well.
Yeah, definitely. Once you kind of start, you got to be careful of that Widow. You can't just stand there and keep getting sniped. But Myers doing a great job picking up targets. Another big ult from Doorway, but with Kwai Senpai's shield, it really negates it. But there's still enough people on the point to where they're going to drop, and Team Skeleton's going to keep it going.
Yeah. Definitely a fan. So we've got Skeleton kind of getting their positions ready. Let's see what they can do. A little overextending there, but that's okay. Keeping the pressure on. But we still need somebody on that payload.
Oh, that was a close shot.
So they're really from behind there.
It was definitely not worth it though for Meyer there as he gets picked up and taken out. Ooh, trying hard a little bit too far forward. Reaper's looking to move up to pick something up, but is not able to connect anything. Artist doing a really good job here, just closing up the distance, and it looks like they will be able to hold this. But the question is for how long. With the closer respawn, it is pretty challenging to hold this close to the arch. And it looks like Skeleton's going to keep this moving forwards. But really the challenge becomes as you start to move further away from your spawn, it's a little bit harder to reinforce, and sometimes teams find it difficult to close out that final push. So let's see if Skeletons is able to do that or not. But Neom picking up an early kill, but is negated by Irritable, and who has his Valkyrie up. Ooh, Artist just a little bit late out of Psychoticon there. Irritable looking for reses. Keeps up Yadin. Nice job by Irritable here. His res is back shortly if he can get to it. Another res on Reaper. He's definitely going to be able to keep this point alive as Artist rolls through Goose. And Dracula's reclaimed this point with a minute left. So they're going to have to wait for Psychoticon to come in here. We've got a couple good pushes still left in them. But we'll see if anybody's able to get some early picks here. Neom's almost got his ult up, which is going to be big, and then Doorway's going to have his as well. So if they can get them all pulled into this, it's going to be short work. But Neom panics a bit and falls into a weird position as he starts to go in for the flank. All right, teams are initiating. Neom's looking for a big ult. Did not wait for the ult. There was a little mismanagement there. Goose, though, still in on the targets, and Psychoticon picks up a bunch. We're down to the last 10 seconds here as they're making a big push. Irritable's able to get those reses off, though. She's not. Goose picks up the last couple targets, and it looks like we're going to game number 3. Really close matchups again. Through overtime, they managed to pick one up, and Skeletons is not going down without a fight. We want to take this over to, hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Good. Welcome back.
Doorway.
Who was that?
Doorway.
Again? Wow. Who walked away with that?